All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Saturday Zoom call. We're so excited. This is super exciting day. It's our Vision Day. So we're starting off, district managers and above, we're starting off at the Milady's house, and then going to look at Benz's, test drive our Benz's today. That's open for every consultant and above. And then moving on to Christy Card's house for a booking blitz starting at 3. And then 6 o'clock will be movie night, and guests are welcome at that time. So just a quick few announcements as well. We have our Irvine DA, that's on Monday the 7th. The next DA here in Carlsbad is on the 15th at the Benz dealership. And then just a quick reminder too, we have our second nutrition group, and that begins on the 15th. That group is open. Posts are going to begin on Monday. So start adding your people who are starting on the 15th now so that they can be involved in all those informative posts. And remember, anyone who starts in the month of January is eligible for the $500 cash prize. So definitely use that as an incentive. I know as we're booking today and messaging today, then that is a key information to include for our participants as well. Also, the incentive that Arbonne launched, super exciting, the backpack, and so easy, and it's so cute. 3 new consultants or PCs with 250 QB, and you've got this amazing backpack, and I love it because it's unisex. So it's for guys and girls, and even the not so girly girls like me. And then lastly, if you missed our meeting on Wednesday, huge announcement. We are now going to be joining Shannon Blass's team for our monthly meetings, recognition, and DAs, and that is going to be on the second Tuesday in Encinitas, which is so awesome because first Tuesday, I'm sorry. I meant that. Thank you, Christy. Yes, the first Tuesday of the month. So we get to kick off our month right with recognition, discover Arbonne, bring your guests, pack the house, tons of vision, packed with VPs. It's also a little bit more further south, so a little bit more centrally located, so we can invite guests and really blow up our teams in the southern region, where I feel like we have so much opportunity. Obviously, we have opportunity everywhere, but we have a ton of opportunity down south. It's only $5 per person, so it's cheaper. It's just going to be so exciting, so much vision, so much recognition. I can't wait for February because I know there's going to be a ton of people in quals and promoting. Super exciting. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest speaker. I'm so excited to introduce. It's Miss Lori Johnson, ERVP. She is an RVP on Shannon Blass's team, so we'll be connecting and getting to know her more, which is super exciting. And she's going to share with us what she shifted in her business and what she did to go region and promote her first region pretty quickly as well. So with that, Lori, welcome to our call.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for having me on. Happy New Year to all of you. I can't even believe that I get to be on this call at the beginning of a new year talking about this subject, because it just warms my heart when I think about it, because this was the time last year that I actually went into qual for region. And so, thinking about this call today and how to share what I actually did to do that with you guys at this special time for me was just, it was so cool. So I did a couple things for you, and we'll talk a little bit about it, and then maybe there'll be a couple minutes to open up for questions. But I tracked all my numbers during this time. I was reading a book at this time, I mean, literally in January, and it was called Get Over Your Damn Self. And I loved it. I mean, this is my kind of book, first of all. It's got a lot of humor in it, which keeps me connected to the book while I read it. And so it was inspirational because they talked about numbers in here, and they also talked about the verbiage to use while you're running your numbers and meeting people. And so, I really felt like, because this was my second time in Region Qual, I felt like I had nothing to lose. And I don't know if that's just the place that I was at because of where I was at, or if I just thought, you know what, this girl that's telling me this book and all this stuff inside of it, it all seems spot on to me. And it seems spot on with our system too. So it was really the verbiage piece and the disconnect of emotion around all of my activity that set me free. And this book allowed me to do that. That had always been a struggle with me. I'm very, I don't know, I'm very low drama and not very much of an emotional person, but I do care a lot, if that makes any sense. So a lot of my emotion is in my heart, but I'm so business oriented, and I have been known to be a little bit of a workaholic in my earlier years before I had kids and stuff. And so sometimes I lose a real disconnect with my thinking and my mental aspect and my heart. And so this book set me free. They said, it's okay, Lori, you can feel however you want to feel, but just do the activity and don't put any emotion to it. And I was like, ooh, that sounds good. And it was true. It's really, really awesome if you haven't read it. So that being said, I went into qualification for regional vice president for the second time back in December of 2016, unexpectedly, okay? I had already been in qual once. I knew what it took, and I knew the size of my team at that time. And at the time I had I've always had an amazing team, the greatest girls, whether they've been active or not, they're just the greatest girls. And we've always had a lot of fun together too. And I think that plays a big part in getting these promotions, is having a lot of fun with your business. Because when you run big numbers, if you're not having fun, it's going to show. It shows in your parties. It shows when you're talking to somebody one-on-one. It shows in your text messaging. So you've really got to make sure that you're keeping your energy up when you're doing this business. My tip for the mindset piece, because, well, you guys have heard it all the time, so I'm not going to tell you over and over again on this call, but I will tell you that at that time in January, Shannon Bloss had come back from her trip to Maui, and she was just talking all about this book called The Miracle Morning and how it really helped you get your mindset together before you started doing your work. And I thought, whoa, that sounds pretty cool to me. I mean, how awesome to have a moment to yourself for 30 or 45 minutes before you actually begin your Arbonne work. I just thought that was genius. So I thought that was, you know what, that's going to be my clock in. I'm going to do that for the first 30 or 45 minutes of my day. And it's changed a little bit the time that I do it, but I'm still very, very disciplined around it because Shannon was very disciplined around it. And, you know, I follow Shannon. She's my sponsor. She's my upline. She's my trainer. She's my coach. She's been my everything, you guys. And I give her so much credit for all of what I'm going to share with you because basically she did all of it. So if you just copy your sponsor or, you know, the rock stars in your upline, you guys, you can do this too because it's not that hard. And I know people say, oh my God, this is the hardest thing ever. I'm like, seriously, come on, you guys. Like, I live in Carlsbad next to Oceanside, which is a military town. And I have a lot of friends who go out and fight for our freedom on a daily basis. I have a lot of family members that are in the police force, and I think that's really hard too, to protect all of us. So when you look at this job and you think, yeah, this job's hard, you know, I compare it to that. So I don't think it's all that hard, but I do get that you can really get hung up at times too, and it can be very difficult based on your mindset. So that mindset miracle morning and doing that every day has changed everything for me. And it is for sure the number one reason. Well, okay, there's top two, and they're equally the same in terms of how important they are. First of all, your mindset and getting it right first thing in the morning is up there. The second thing is your activity, because without either of those, you'll never get what you want in Arbonne. And so I just want to start out by saying one thing in case you're new on this call. I see there's a lot of people on this call. My goodness, 21 of you. This is so impressive for a Saturday morning, you guys. Congratulations. What a great team. Okay, so I just want to tell you, if you're new or maybe you're a district manager, all you have to do is learn how to do our brick. Okay, that's our system. If you learn how to do our brick, so if you don't know how to do it yet, figure out how to do it. You know, get your coach or your sponsor or pull in somebody that can teach you how to learn your brick. It's the most important thing, honestly, that you'll learn, because if you can do your brick, you can get to the top. Okay, so I just want to encourage the new consultants on the call and the district managers on this call. You can get to district manager all by yourself doing our brick, which I think is super, super cool that Arbonne allows you to see a first level of management when you've actually learned how to do our brick. Okay, so you get rewarded, you guys. Oh my gosh, for doing our brick, you can become a district manager. And that is so serious in Arbonne. Our levels of management are, you are looked at like a rock star when you hit district manager, just so you know. So if you're a district manager on this call, you are so on track for your next promotion, okay? Truly, you've learned your brick and now you're ready to go. And so independent consultants, new consultants, district managers, learn your brick. The next couple things that I'm going to talk about are a little bit advanced, okay? So I wanted to just tell you, if you're new or if you're a district manager, this might seem a little bit over your head, but a lot of things do in Arbonne, right? While you're learning. I mean, the verbiage that we use, the initials that we use, oh my God, the initials. Like, it took me 6 months to learn all the initials in Arbonne, but my point is that there's a lot to learn. So maybe down the road, as you're going for your next promotion, you'll remember something that I've said and it'll connect then. So sometimes things don't connect right now, but it will eventually as you learn and you grow. So, you know, getting to regional vice president, I kind of had an idea of what it was going to take since I had already been in qual once. I knew it took a lot more activity than I did when I was in qual the first time. And what I can say is this, our system is an every month system, okay? It teaches you how to do your brick, it teaches you how to get your bonus and all of that. So if you learn how to do that, you're in great shape. But if you want to go for a promotion, it's not enough. Okay, we call it double time or triple time on our team because that's what Miss Tori Brandt, our huge, you know, leader up way, way up high, she calls it doing triple time or doing double time. But you really have to when you want to get a promotion. It doesn't last very long, right? 2 or 3 months, and then it goes back to the normal system. So I tell you that because I want to be encouraging. Hi, Cooper. One of my sons just woke up. And sorry. And I want you to know that it might seem kind of crazy right now when I talk about it, and it always is a little bit crazy when you're in promotion. So just know that that's normal and that that's okay. You know, get your people, your husband, your family, whoever's close to you on board with that when you decide to get your next promotion. And, you know, Miss Mandy Bartz on my team, who's a rock star, she always says, make the decision. Oh my God. And she looks straight you in the eye. She says, make the decision. Oh, Lord, okay. I just was like, what decision? Like, I know I want to be a VP. Like, I've already made that decision. What do you mean make a decision? And what I've realized now that I've gone through it and got the promotion is that it's a decision, but it's more of a commitment. It's a commitment to your activity. And that is straight up for any promotion that you're going for. So when I looked at getting accidentally into qual for region back in December, I was like, oh Lord, this is going to be interesting. And then January rolled around and I was like, whoa, I have just got to figure out how to get myself into massive momentum. And so what I did in January is I cleared my calendar. I didn't have doctor's appointments. I didn't have, you know, all the errands that we normally run as moms and all the things we do. I thought, man, I've got to pick up some time. And so the only place for me to really try and pick it up was going to be to really protect my calendar and fill it and not let anything that wasn't activity driven on it. And I told my kids, I'm like, look, peace out. You know, you guys have your driver's license. You guys can go to Costco. You know, you can do errands for me, right? And they're like, oh yeah, Mom, we'll do whatever you need, you know? And my husband, he was on board too, because they had all been through this once before and I hadn't finished, right? And they kind of remembered it a little bit. So they were just very, very supportive, which turned out to be a good thing because in the month of January, exactly a year ago, I had a rock star by the name of Mandy Bartz go into Region Qual herself. Oh my God, how fabulous, right? Like you cannot even imagine how exciting it is to be working with somebody and partnering with somebody and going for the same promotion at the same time. It was exhilarating, it was exhausting, and honestly, I felt like I was running the race of my life. Mainly because Mandy Bartz had exploded in the month of January. and she had gotten herself into qual 2. And if anybody knows the fabulous Miss Mandy Bartz, you know how amazing she is, right? And I knew she was going to promote to region. And so I got my hustle on, and I did, I think, 12 parties in the month of January, and I had never done that before. Oh my God, it was awesome. It was so cool because I love parties, and I had never done a lot of them, to be truthful. My path to area manager, I had never done one before, but when I went area for the second time, for some reason I have to go and qual twice, you guys. I'm avoiding that for the next one though. I am going to go and qual once for national vice president. I'm going to finish. So I'm not doing any of that twice stuff again. Don't do that, by the way. You don't want to. I mean, it's all exciting and everything, but when you get yourself in qual, do whatever it takes to finish. It's the best way to do it. And I've learned that the hard way twice. And so now I know it 100% not to do it that way, but all the same. So let me give you the numbers in, I'll go back to October just so you can see how fast numbers can move when you're in massive, massive activity. So back in October, this was of 2016, I had 19,000 running through my organization. That's basically half of what you need to get to region. I felt pretty good about it, but I had been at this number for quite some time, and I was ready for the number to move. So in November, my team and I did 21, wait, did I skip a month? No, November 21,000. And then in December, Mandy Bartz and I each had about 20 people on our January 1st round of detox. So both of us had personally sponsored, I think, 40 or 50 new PCs in the month of December for the new detox round. So Mandy and I are both health coaches with Arbonne. That's always been our main gig with Arbonne. We do everything else too because it's silly not to when you look at it from a business perspective. We brought that into all of our detoxers, but we did start out truthfully as health coaches. And that's what got that number to 41,000. We sponsored a ton of PCs, the two of us. And then in January, this was kind of crazy. So in January, my numbers were 42. And a lot of that volume wasn't mine. A lot of it was Mandy's because she had just exploded. She'd sponsored a ton of girls. And that was a little worrisome for me because when you promote to a region, you want your own region. Like Mandy wants her own region and I want my own region. So we were both working actually on building our own regions at the same time. And so then in February, our numbers jumped to 56. And in March, Mandy promoted and our numbers jumped to 67. I had not yet promoted. I was absolutely just exhausted. I got super duper sick at GTC, and I did not know how I was going to finish my own promotion in the month of April, being super sick at GTC, and then on fire literally when I left because of John O'Leary. So if you guys have not gone to GTC, it's the most important thing you can do for your business, truthfully. Do not take this lightly, okay? I don't take it lightly. GTC is on my calendar. Nothing gets in the way. And it's because you have these unbelievable shifts there. And my shift at GTC was, what more could you do? That's what John O'Leary left us all with, a call to action. He said, what more can you do? And I thought to myself, I'm so sick. I really don't care. What more can I do? Like, this is just beyond me, this whole promotion. I just don't know how it's going to happen in the next week once we got home. And I thought to myself, what more can I do? What more can I do? And at the time, I had a girl from the East Coast on my team, Mary McCaleb, that was staying in my room with me. And then the most amazing Joanne Jackson, who's also on my team. Both have such giving hearts. They came to me and they're like, what more can we do, Lori? And I thought to myself, whoa, my team is coming to me telling me what more can we do? I need to step it up. I need to step up and see what more can we do. So we decided right then and there before we left GTC that we were going to do a Mother's Day contribution. We were going to attach ourselves to a homeless shelter for mothers only, and we were going to give away, we thought it was only going to be about 140 gifts. It turned out to be 200 gifts because of the East Coast participation. And it's funny because we just set out to bless all these other women. And we didn't know what was going to happen with it. We didn't know how it was going to end up. We didn't even know if we could do it. But the three of us, Joanne, Mary, and I, and then I had a couple of girls on my team too who jumped in on this contribution to the homeless women, and we did it. And between that and all the activity that we did that week, it's what closed it out for my direct team. And so that, I would say that giving at the same time you're trying to do something for yourself is probably one of the most exciting things I've ever experienced in my life, because it wasn't about me that last week, even though I thought it was going to be, because it was up to me and my direct team to get my promotion done. And I really felt the weight of it. However, when I was giving to somebody else, I didn't feel that way. And so it allowed me to focus on what was really the most important thing, and that was these women who didn't have anything. And so it just was a really cool experience. And we brought home $40,000 and $300 in April to finish my direct region promotion and become an executive regional vice president and kind of jump that first promotion. So I actually got a double promotion all through this. Now, that being said, the activity piece is what got me there 100%. And you guys know, like, that activity where you kind of start to get this feeling in your stomach, that you get this nervous feeling, or gosh, sometimes it's even kind of a sick feeling about trying to book your calendar, right? Because you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to start, or I don't know what everybody's going to say. Well, you know what? It actually, none of that even matters. Okay. All you have to do is do what your upline or your coach is telling you to do and send out verbiage. Start inviting people. It's the most powerful tool we have, is to invite people to something, whether it's to check out our sample survey, invite them to a party, whether you're hosting one or somebody's hosting one for you, invite them to look at a detox video. Gosh, we have so many things to invite people to, you guys. Learn to love inviting. And I've learned to love that because I did not come from that place. Again, I had never done parties, events, nothing. And I had told my coach too, so don't do this. I had told Shannon Boss, of all people, oh my gosh, I think it's just so funny because we were such good friends, right? I was just like, don't ever ask me to do one of those. When I started, straight up, I told her, don't ever ask me to do one of those. And she was so respectful, you guys. She never asked me to do one. And so I built my business one-on-one until I got into area qual the second time. And then I said, Shannon, what am I going to have to do to get this promotion done in 2 months? And she said, you're going to have to do parties. I was like, I knew you were going to say that. Oh my God. I just couldn't believe it. But I knew she was right. And I thought, Lori, this is a skill set. You just need to learn the skill set. This is no big deal. You just don't know how to do it yet. That's why it's a big deal. But once you start doing it, everybody says that you'll get good at it. You know, all those feelings in your stomach, that wanting to puke or wanting to sweat profusely at those first few parties, I would come out of them wringing wet, you guys, because I'm very much a one-on-one person, but I've never really considered myself a big group type of person. I've gotten better at that because I knew I had to learn how to do that. But I still, like, gosh, even just this whole region, walking any kind of stage or platform or even just a walkway, it just gives me, I don't know, it's just not something I'm comfortable with, but I'm learning how to be comfortable with. And I think that's the biggest thing as you're throwing yourself into momentum and activity, is just know that once you do it, that how you feel is going to change. And it's going to completely change. It's not going to even just change a little, unless you're just doing a little, okay? Little equates with little, a lot equates with a lot, right? You guys know that. But after I did those 10 parties to go area, one of those parties is where I met Mandy Bartz. And I'll never forget it because, I did exactly what Shannon told me. She's like, be sure you go around to everybody in the room, be sure you ask them if they want to host a party, be sure you go over the package. I mean, all the, our system, right? So I wasn't even paying attention to Mandy Bartz. She was sitting on the floor. She was talking a lot. And I just thought, I don't have time for this. Like, I got to get around to all these people, all of which only one person bought one bag of Fit shoes after all of that. It was so disappointing. And I thought, this is going to be a bust, but they say you have to have a bust of a party before you could ever get to area manager. And I thought, well, maybe this is going to be that one that's a bust, right? And so after everybody left, and I thought, wow, I just can't even believe I'm going to leave here after all of this with no volume. They said like $20. So I sat down with the hostess, who was a PC of mine. I met her in the grocery store, all because we started talking about her baby. So anyway, she had hosted this party, and Mandy Bartz was a friend that she had met at the gym. So the two of them were sitting on the floor with their wine, and I thought, well, that looks like a whole lot of fun, especially after all that I've just been through. So I grabbed myself a glass of wine. I sat down with those girls. And what came out of it was me meeting Mandy Bartz. She bought the nutrition kit. She understood nutrition from some background that she had in it. She bought a couple things for her boyfriend, so we talked about his needs. We got him taken care of too. I think her order ended up being like maybe over $400 at the time. And I just was like, whoa, oh my gosh, like what? Like, I did not know that could happen at a party, but it can. So don't ever underestimate the person who's the talker in the room, because sometimes those will be your best consultants. And she, you know her journey and where she's gotten. But if I would not have sat down and talked to her, I don't know that all that would have happened. And so, don't ever underestimate anybody at your party. Like, learn the skill of getting good at our script, even if you just have to read it every single day, before you go to bed, to memorize it. That's a hard part for me, because I go through menopause and I can't remember a lot of things. And so I have to do that every night, you guys. My script, it just looks like it's all tore up, but I practice it every night because I can't remember a lot of things. And so, I just would say, what you put into this business is what you get out of it. And when I asked myself the question last January, how much more could I do? I looked back at last year and I thought, oh my gosh, you guys, like, I had done some, but I hadn't done a ton. I mean, this business is so simple. Like, I'm like, oh gee, maybe I'll have to work an extra hour each day, to get my next promotion. And so I thought, well, of course I can do more. I can do double. I know I can. But what if I did triple? And that's when I cleared my calendar and I did triple time. And I loaded my calendar. It was full. There wasn't anything on it but Arbonne activity. And that threw me into the kind of massive momentum that you need to meet the people that you need to meet for your team and to get yourself a promotion. Now, it's only the first month. So it's only January. You guys are going to go do this all right after this call. So book your calendar massively for January. And then when you're in January, you'll start to book February from January. So it's really just one time that you've got to like go all balls out and go for it, because then the activity comes off of all of that, right? So you don't have to do the balls out thing every single month, although there is something to be said while you're in qualification for going all balls out. You can finish it in 2 months if you do. It's so much better to do it in 2 months, you guys. I can't even tell you. But 3's fine too. I mean, we get 3. It's just two's a lot more fun too, I think. Just having been through it, I think 2 months is so much more fun. And so if you don't think that sounds fun, get with your upline and ask them, how can I make this fun? Because it turned out to be the funnest experience of my entire professional life, going through that journey. And I counted how many people I talked to during that time. So over those 3 months, oh my God, Ruth Sherlock, are you putting on mascara? Oh my God, I didn't know we could do that during a call. Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind on my next call. so cute. You probably have all this fun stuff planned today. You need to look pretty, right? Anyway, put a hat on. It's a big tip. And an Arbonne hat. But anyway, I counted the people that I talked to in the 3 months, the last 3 months that I was in qualification. So February, March, and April. And I talked to about 300 people myself and got in front of 300 people. So if you look at it, our system is 40 a month, and my average was about 100. I would say 80 to 100 from December to May. But again, I didn't do any parties in December, and I signed up the most PCs I've ever had on a detox round. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that parties are everything, but they're awesome, because here's the thing. You save so much time. Okay, you can talk to 40 people in 40 hours, individually, or you can talk to 40 people in, well, it depends on what your averages are, but, I would say our averages are, 4 girls to a party, maybe 5. And so if you have, 8 parties, then you've run 40 people, and that's maybe taking you 16 hours. So the difference between 16 and 40 hours is a lot to me and my family. I've got a son that's going to high school or college. Like, I need to spend more time with my family. So you see, it's about picking up time. And where can you be smarter this year? And where can you work a little bit smarter so that you don't actually have to work harder? You just have to be more intentional about what you're actually doing. And so I hope this was helpful for you guys. Does anybody have any questions? Is that too much for you all?
No,
sorry.
that was
a lot, I know, but it was a real
question. Lori, you said February, March, and April you talked to 300. So is that just 300 asks, or is that getting in front of at a one-on-one and party?
It was both. It was all of my communication. So whether I had texted somebody or gotten in front of them, you know, I counted it, because I communicate a lot of different ways in my business. I do everything, you guys. I do every single thing, because what I've learned is that it's just been a lot easier for me to learn how to do everything and help a lot of different people than how to just stay in my little niche of nutrition, which I love. But, you know, I just don't know what people need anymore. I can never judge that. And so anytime I get in front of people, all of my talk is all about both our anti-aging skincare line and our healthy living program. But that's after I found out what they need. And most of the time I feel that the women I get in front of fall into those two categories, and then they get to choose. And I love it, because I rarely have I picked, you know, what people will choose. And so if that's the case, then you really need to be finding out what people need so that you can put them where, you know, in the category of products that are going to help them. And so, you know, reaching out via text, I had reached out to my husband's warm market as well. All of his men friends, I was like, give me your list. He's like, what do you need it for? I'm like, I'm calling every one of them. Are you okay with that? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. And in hindsight, well, it was Mother's Day too was coming up. And so I had an idea, I could do a lot of Mother's Day baskets and for those men. And so I probably did about 10 Mother's Day baskets, totaling several thousands in volume, probably $3,000 or $4,000 in volume in that month of April, just by doing those alone. However, in hindsight, I think if I was to do that again, I think I would go after the husband's wives, like just looking at how more effective I could have been if I would have reached out to them instead. Some of them I knew, some of them I didn't, but I just think getting in front of women, because they're the main purchasers of a household, is just really important. And so, you know, that's on my list this year, right? Because now I'm re-getting my lists all together, trying to create some new ones. And so, you know, going back over those lists, some of those women are popping out to me that I just was too tired after I got my promotion to even remember who they were. But also, I have to say, on page 66 of that Get Over Your Damn Self book, this would be for everybody too, even the newbies on the call. Page 66 of that book, if you don't know who to reach out to, this page tells you who to reach out to. And on my last day of promoting in April, one of my consultants in my downline texted me at about 8 o'clock that night. And I think I had like maybe $8,000 more to go. And there were maybe 2 people still working that last day. So I knew that most of that volume was going to have to come from me. And she texted me, she said, Lori, turn to page 66 of Get Over Your Damn Self. And I was like, well, I don't got anything to lose, because it's 8 o'clock and I don't know who else to talk to. Like, I felt like I had just talked to everybody I ever had knew. Turns out you never have talked to everybody that you know. I mean, every time I say that, there is a whole new list that's created with people I just didn't remember. Okay, so when you turn to page 66, it tells you who to reach out to. And so I did. At 8 o'clock that night, I reached out to 4 people that I thought of off of this list, because it breaks down like different categories of people to reach out to, like professionals, a working mom, a single mom, a lawyer, a real estate professional. So anyway, I had 4 people come to mind off of that list. And I think I produced $1,000 off of those 4 people in that next hour. And so it was just crazy. I had gotten a call late that night at 11 o'clock before closing. And I was about $1,000 away, I think, at that point. And I had a call from a husband off of my husband's list. He was a coach. And he said, Lori, you're the last of my calls. Is it too late to call? I said, no, not at all. how you doing? He said, great. I heard you're in need of something. I said, absolutely. Thank you so much for calling. How can I help you participate in what I've got going on? He says, well, what do you got going on? And I said, well, I've got some Mother's Day gifts for your beautiful wife. I know she would love them. He goes, well, what do they have in them? I said, I've got a skincare one. He goes, oh no, she does Rodan and Fields. I was like, oh, okay. He says, I've got a really great nutrition package. I know she'll love that. Oh no, her sister sells, something. I was like, oh God, what am I going to offer this guy? I'm like, okay, I could do like a really beautiful bath and body for her. Oh no, she's real particular about this kind of stuff. And I thought to myself, well, I'm doing this charitable event. It's for homeless women, and we are going to serve 200 homeless women with Mother's Day gifts on Mother's Day. Does that have, does that do it for you? Does that sound good? What do you think about that? He goes, oh my God. He goes, here's my credit card, put $200 on it, done. I was like, oh my God, thank you. So I took his credit card, I got off the phone, and I had like $800 left to do in the next like 45 minutes. And you guys, like miracles happen every day, every single day. And straight up, mine was a total miracle. I do believe in miracles. I believe in God, and this was his miracle. And I just facilitated it all truthfully with my team, who are all very spiritual too, which was awesome to go through all this and really be able to, give the glory where it was due. But activity is the bottom line. So you gotta get the activity going. How's that?
That's fantastic. I don't know if anybody else has questions, but I have 2 questions real fast, and then anybody else answer. But I know that this is totally helping.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, if you have it, somebody else does, right?
Does. So when you, because I went region, it's kind of similar to you, was not ready, was not big enough, had to pull numbers. And what I really liked from your whole training today is you really shared how you led from the front. You weren't waiting for your team. You weren't waiting for anybody else. You said in December, you and Mandy sponsored 20 people each onto the nutrition. So you were always looking at the volume of what can you do. And I think that's a big mind shift that a lot of people need to make, that they have the power instead of relinquishing the power to others. But number one question, how did you get 20 people on the nutrition in December? You said it wasn't events, so was it just reach out, just texting, emailing? Because I know we did that, and we're very successful at that, but I just wanted to see if there was anything else with that. And then number 2, how many people did you have working on your team when you finished RVP, like in your region? Just so we can get a better idea, because I think people also think they need like a million zillion people and they're waiting for someone magical to join their team when they're not realizing that they're the magic unicorn. Oh, we can't hear you. Oh no.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Let me just tell you all that you are the magic unicorn. We all are. Okay. So straight up, you don't need to worry about anybody but yourself. Okay. Including your team members. Now, we have a system where you reach up. And so it's your responsibility to reach up to your sponsor for help. They cannot read your mind. Sometimes I wish we could, but we can't. So that's really, really important. But, we're all independent consultants, which is the beauty of this business. And when you start to worry about the other people around you or on your team, it's a little bit of a trap, I think. Don't get caught in it. Focus on yourself, focus on your calendar. Your team, if they need you, they will let you know. I always check in with my team, every single one of them, at the beginning of every single month, no matter how much volume they do, because I want to hear how they are, because I love them. But they're all in very, very different places, okay? From 0 all the way up to, well, I don't even know what Miss Mandy Bartz is doing these days, because she's so completely fabulous. I can't always see all of her numbers. But anyway, I want to share with you guys that it does not take very many team members to get to your next promotion. It could just take one, okay? Because we have a system of duplication. It's the most beautiful part of our system, in my opinion. But I love sponsoring, and I love working with other girls. And so I would just say, take care of yourself, okay? Because you have to be a leader. And a leader takes care of themselves, okay? Because they can't take care of their team unless they're leading themselves, right? So it's kind of like that whole being a mom thing. If you're a mom on this call, you know, you put your kids first, you put your husband first, because I think that's just kind of how it goes. But you need to put yourself first always, because you can't be the best version of anything, of a mom, of a wife, of an Arbonne consultant, until you're taking care of yourself. And so, you know, I grew my business, you guys, putting Arbonne in the nooks and crannies of my day. Truthfully, I had a full-time job. And so I grew my business in the nooks and crannies, and you can do that. But when you want to go region, you know, it's not a nook and cranny situation. It's not even a nook and cranny situation when you're probably trying to finish district manager, right? Because, you know, as easy as this can be, it can also seem really difficult, especially if you've only been doing $500 a month. I mean, I remember when I did $500 a month, and I just thought, oh, our brick is $2,500? Are you kidding? Like, how do I do that? But you talk to a lot of people. And so I texted a lot of people in the month of October and November. So I did a lot of front loading for the month of December when I sponsored 20 consultants. And some of those were repeats, but most of them were brand new. And so I would just say, you know, I wanted to ramp things up back. September is such a great month for me because the kids go back in school, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to go after it. So, you know, I just go after it in September and October always, because the kids are in school and the holidays haven't hit yet. And I go like a crazy person, and then it produces all this massive activity. So, you know, however much you're reaching out is what's going to come back to you. So I probably reached out that month, I would say easily to over 100 people, inviting them to join me on the January round of Detox. So you see, it's just inviting. You're just inviting a lot of people all the time to all kinds of stuff, everything. You know, the Ben's Bash, Monday at Hohen, the Nation meeting, you know, here's a video, take a look at this. You invite them into your groups. I mean, you know, there's so many ways to invite. Eric Worre is a pro on that. I went to his GoPro event a couple of months ago, and man, between that and Get Over Your Damn Self, those two books, the verbiage is perfect for everybody. It works all the time too. So, you know, get good at your verbiage, get good at inviting, and, you know, reach out to a ton of people, because that's what it takes. You don't get 20 people already reaching out to 20 people. You know, 1 in 4, right? You guys know the numbers. You know the ratios, 1 in 4, 1 in 5. As you get your skill set down and you become, you know, promoted to whatever level you're promoting to, you know, you get a little more skill set going, and you get a little bit better at it because you've done more. And, you know, the next thing you know, you're going after VP and you're doing more. But then, you know, now I'm not. I'm doing my system, the 40, but I'm starting to think, okay, I'm getting ready to go, okay, I'm going to get myself back in a massive momentum again. You know, when am I going to do that? And the question is now. There's no better time than right now, you guys. Honestly, these are the next 4 months are some of the best 4 months in our business, truthfully. Both for the detox, okay? Every round that you have in the next 4 months should be full. And when I say full, you know, your paper should be full. So we have on our sheet, our log sheet, 12 people. So we try and have 12 on each round, right? But that might seem a lot to you if you've never had anybody on a round. So I would say start with 1, right? If you've never had anybody, start with 1. You got to start somewhere, right? 1 is good, you guys. Come on. I mean, 1 is great. If 1 person shows up to your party, you better be, you know, thanking the Lord. Because 1 person, you can do so much with 1 person. Look at Mandy Bartz. She's 1 person, you guys. Okay, when I finished in May of Region, I had a little tiny team. I don't even know really quite how we finished, but I did a lot of work, and so we finished. The struggle has been to continue to grow my own region since, but in such a great way, you guys. I mean, you know, don't get too hung up on really any one thing. Just focus on your activity, because that gets you everything, and it makes you feel better. And so if you're kind of down on the dumps, even today, maybe you're not feeling great, you know, first of all, you know, do something that's going to immediately elevate your energy, whether you jump up and down and clap your hands, or you listen to a song, you start dancing, or, you know, something, because that'll immediately get you going. And then, you know, just open your calendar and just be like, maybe I just need to start with a reorder. Like, maybe that'll really like start my day off good. Okay, I'm just going to, you know, text a couple of people and see if I can get a reorder here real quick and get going. So sometimes we'll just start with a reorder. Sometimes, you guys, I don't know if this is good or not, but sometimes I really have to motivate myself because, we're so independent, right? And so how do you do that? A lot of times I play games with myself. And so I'll play a game like, you know what? I'm going to go to home office on Friday to Will Call, say hi to all my friends at Will Call because they live close by. It's not that far for me. I'm very lucky that way. But you know what? I'm going to see how many orders I can get before Friday in Will Call. And, that's just how I'm going to roll this week because I need some motivation. So I'm not going to drive 45 minutes to Will Call if I've only got one box to pick up, you guys, right? Like, nobody does that. Like, you want to pick up 10 boxes. And so, go pick up 10 boxes. Like, whatever you have to do to motivate yourself, but put yourself first always and put your Arbonne business first. Do your Arbonne business every day before you go do your errands, before you go do the laundry. Come on, you guys. What is more important to you? I mean, the laundry, it's going to be there. Seriously, all this other stuff is going to be there. The doctor's appointments, all the kids' stuff, it's all going to be there anyway. So why not invest in yourself, in your business, and grow your business? Get all that other stuff like later in the day, maybe right before you pick up the kids, like be strategic about your day, you guys. Be smart. We're smart women. We need to stand in our power and we need to stand in our strength and what we know. I mean, if you can be a mom, you can do anything, in my opinion. I mean, straight up. But some of you aren't moms. And so, think about Mandy Bartz and what she did. She threw herself into massive momentum and grew a team in 3 months that got her to region. 3 months. And she is doing phenomenal. But, duplication is the key. So when you teach somebody, teach them how to teach somebody all at the same time. In fact, teach like 3 or 4 girls all at the same time. That way they have their little team together. That way they're having fun together. They're passing information back and forth. They're all growing together. In my opinion, that's one of the funnest ways to build a little team, to sponsor somebody and help them get a team going right away. That'll get you your next promotion right there. That's all you have to do. Go teach somebody how to be a health coach and have them teach 3 of their girlfriends how to be a health coach, and you'll be at your next promotion.
Oh my gosh, Lori, that was amazing. Thank you so much. I was literally like scribbling notes the entire time.
Oh, I talked too long. I'm so sorry, but it's such a loaded subject, right?
Yeah, it really was. And you know what? I thank you so much for just your authenticity and your realness and just really getting down to like the nitty gritty of it all. Because it is, like you said, it is in comparison, it is easy, right? To like other things that are out there. What we do is easy. Obviously, we all have our different challenges in life, so we have to fit it into. But you gave us so many great tangible resources and ideas and tips. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and sharing it with us this morning. We really appreciate it.
All right, you guys go kick some booty now.
Thank you.
I wish I was coming. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day.
And then we just have quickly, Jillian Feather is going to be sharing quickly, going over our product, our Pure Perks product, which is the protein burst. So we'll do that real quickly and wrap up our call because I know we've got a big day today. Jillian, over to you, babe.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. If you don't know me, my name is Jillian. Like Sarah said, I'm a district manager and independent consultant with Arbonne. And I do get to share with you our amazing Pure Perks, which is our daily protein boost. I hope you can see it. So right now through the 15th, it's an extra 25% off, you guys, which is on top of your consultant preferred client discount. So it's an amazing, amazing tool, especially right now with everybody doing the nutrition challenge with the new year. So just a couple little tidbits of information because I do want to be quick. So this is odorless, flavorless. It has 0 sugar, 0 net carbs, 10 grams of vegan protein, which comes from yellow peas, brown rice, and cranberry. So it's super amazing to add into your daily life. So you can add it to your shakes. you can add it to the after workout, which is part of VitoSport, especially for athletes and people that are really fitness focused, maybe not so much like weight loss focused, but really trying to build lean muscle mass. Even I work with a lot of people who are paralyzed and they're working on gaining weight. So this is an additional really wonderful tool for me in helping people with that. So it can be used in cooking and baking. There's absolutely no temperature limit with it, which is really great. So you're not going to kill off any of the nutrients or anything. You can actually find a lot of recipes on the source. The source is our resource for everything. So if you have questions about anything with Arbonne, definitely go on the source. So if you just type in protein boost on the source, you can find recipes, any of the information, the meat product sheets. There's some great learn and burns on there as well about the daily protein boost, and our upline Chris Weiler also trains on it. And then what's also really cool with the daily protein boost is if you have clients who are more like fitness oriented, or maybe, I got a lot of people saying like, oh, I do ketogenic diet, so I don't need to do the 30 days. And I'm like, that's great. I'm super happy for you. Which is essentially like really low carbohydrate. So you can actually cut your protein shakes to like 1 scoop of protein, 1 scoop of the protein boost. So you're actually lowering the amount of carbohydrates, you're lowering the amount of sugar, but you're still keeping that protein, which is super crucial. So for me, in my own personal business, I have a few friends that are fitness models, and in the past, they're like, oh, there's too much sugar in the protein powder, which is hilarious. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and use your artificial sugar and enjoy your bloating and gastrointestinal distress. But when this came out, this was a really, really great resource for me to be able to be like, hey, guess what? We have vegan protein, 0 sugar. It doesn't taste like anything. You can add it to soups, pasta sauces. It's just such a wonderful resource. So please, please, please reach out to people with this, with the Pure Perks, because we do have that additional 25% off right now through the 15th. And again, go onto the source, ask your upline if you have any more questions. But that's it. I just want to keep it short and sweet. So thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jillian. Thank you guys so much for jumping on the call this morning. I don't know about you guys, but this was like power packed. So much great information. Can't wait to see you all throughout the day. We'll see you at Sam's, and then the Ben's, and then Christie's for Booking Blitz and movie night. See you guys tonight. Bye.